good, everybody? Welcome back to Whole Views, and you are now watching the whole week. I thank you for stopping by. This is my weekly show where I recap just things that I feel like talking about from the past week in movie news. And there's so much good things that's like happening and being announced and being talked about that I feel like I want to put in a few sentences on just a small amount of topics this here week. And really kind of projecting into the weekend. So let's go ahead and get into our first story. If you like this type of long format video, I will also break those down. So subscribe to the channel, use your pinky finger, hit the button, subscribe so you can get the alerts for when I break down into segments, or if you just want to see some reaction videos or movie reviews. It's what we do here. So let's go ahead and get into that first topic. So one thing that dropped, and honestly, I'm saying the whole week, this might have been from last week, it might have been from 2 weeks ago, I'm not certain. But one thing that dropped was Marvel very quietly announced the casting of a character named Riri Williams. And if you follow the comics, you know that she's going to eventually become Ironheart from the most recent runs of that character. So I've seen comics with the Ironheart character on it, and I knew that they made this, kind of new character to carry the Iron Man mantle. 14-year-old, 15-year-old black girl who's super smart, went to MIT like ahead of her time, and she's like a teenager playing that character. She's going to be placed inside of the Black Panther 2 movie, which made me kind of concerned because, when we talk about Black Panther 2, and I've talked about it a few times here on the channel, we've always mentioned how there's so much that they have to do with that movie. You have to honor Chadwick Boseman. You have to continue the T'Challa or Black Panther character, whether you're going to change it into Shuri or you're going to have somebody else come in and lead Wakanda. You got to explain the absence of T'Challa. Like, there's a lot. You also have to give a pretty cohesive movie with a good villain, a solid story, nice visuals. There's a lot going on, and now they're announcing that they're going to insert the Riri Williams character in there. She's actually going to be starred by Dominique Thorne, who was in my favorite movie of the year so far, and we got a lot coming out at the end of the year, so it might get dethroned. But Dominique Thorne was in Judas and the Black Messiah, and seeing her in there, if I think she's the same person, I'm very interested to see how she pulls it off. I might have to go ahead and look up some images of her and confirm her identity, because I might be thinking about the wrong person. But regardless, I know she was in that film. I don't see any flaws in that film as far as like the acting goes, so I believe that she's very capable just based on what we saw there, because that was a very, very enthralling and, again, well acted across the board movie. I enjoyed Judas and the Black Messiah. So happy to see that actress getting a shot here. Hopefully in the coming months we could get some visuals, or we could get some more information about how big of a role she'll be playing. I imagine it's going to be a pretty small role, because these guys, Feige in the plan, the big wall map, I believe that this is seeds being planted for a Young Avengers film, but I think that's pretty far down the line. So I'm okay with her being in here. I just hope that they're not doing too much with Black Panther 2 and making it into this huge thing. Trust in Feige is always my ending thoughts, but I would very much like to see where they're going with Riri Williams and the Dominique Thorne casting and stuff. So those are my thoughts there. Second topic I wanted to bring up was from a different comic booky universe, but still equally important. You got Janae Smollett being announced that she's going to get a Black Canary movie placed on HBO Max, and they're going to start working on it, I think, this fall, and then it'll get put out at some point in 2022. One of the things that I liked about Birds of Prey was the Dinah Lance character. They didn't really explore her powers too much, so hopefully we get a full backstory into how those developed and how she used those. I really enjoyed Janae Smollett all the way back to Eve's Bayou, but more recently in Lovecraft Country, I enjoyed her there. I enjoyed her in Birds of Prey, so she's more than capable. I enjoy seeing her on the screen. I really like it. The thing that is more interesting about that story than just Black Canary movie to me is that it's going straight to HBO Max, along with Batgirl, who was also announced to be an HBO Max project, but I think that was maybe a few weeks back. Too old for me to kind of bring up and talk about here, but just mentioning it in context, you got the Black Canary film. You have the Batwoman or Batgirl film, both going to HBO Max. I think that this is actually bigger news for HBO Max in the sense of they are winning right now. They have a large subscriber base. They are growing month after month, but they're growing because of these releases. You still have Dune coming up. You had Reminiscence that was didn't really do well. Didn't even come back around to talk about it because I heard it's confusing. You had King Kong. You had Mortal Kombat. You had Zack Snyder's Justice League. You had all these big movie releases this year. And next year, you're not gonna have that. So if they want to keep pace and they don't want to let those subscribers down and see those numbers dip in the coming year, they need to keep stacking up the shelves and like green lighting projects that will keep people's attention. Not only that, but these projects need to deliver. I believe in the Black Canary one maybe a bit more than the Batwoman one because I don't remember who was cast, and I don't feel like that person might be as proven as a Journey Smollett. But the Black Canary one, I feel like we've already gotten a taste of that character on screen. I feel like that will be satisfying to a large portion of DC fans. So good job for them announcing that. I think they're thinking ahead, knowing that, hey, you know, we may not be able to drop a movie every week, big blockbuster, big name movies every week like we did in 2021, or, you know, every month like we did in 2021, but maybe they'll be, you know, setting the stage for like 2 a quarter, or, you know, every other month in 2022, which would keep their subscriber base growing. And I think, you know, that's all companies' goal, keep getting the money. And I think they'll continue to get the money if they spend it that way. Greenlight more stuff. So those are my thoughts there. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that's a good move for them to greenlight more projects and have some good original films to put out straight to that platform? Or they should just shelf all that, slow down, do it the Marvel way, build slowly. I don't know. I think Warner is smart doing the HBO Max releases and stacking the deck. That's just me. Last thing to mention is my anticipation for Candyman. So I did a review on the channel. I will link it somewhere. You might see something pop up. But I did a review for the original Candyman like a year ago. I was not at all comfortable in front of a camera like I am now talking about movies and television. But I did that. You know, things continue to grow. And I thought with this new Candyman coming out, people would find that old video. I'm actually kind of glad that they don't. But if you are interested in my thoughts on the new Candyman, please come back and check out the channel because, or subscribe to the channel with the alerts, because I do believe I'm scheduled to check that thing out this weekend. Just gotta see what the hurricanes is gonna do, you know, in the Gulf. But besides that, or, you know, moving away from that and talking about the movie itself, I've been anticipating it coming out for a couple of months now, and I'm seeing right now it has an 88% positive score on Rotten Tomatoes, meaning that out of the 95 reviews, 88% of those people thought this is a good movie. I don't really know what to expect. I've heard some people talk about only wanting to see it for the nostalgia factor and not really expecting new things. Myself, don't feel nostalgia because I didn't see the original Candyman until 2020. And I actually feel like this is gonna blow the original out of the water just because of, like, I believe in Jordan Peele's production skills. Like, if he has his hands on it, I think it's going to be exceptional because he's just proven that over time. As well as, I don't hold the original in such high regard as some other people. I feel like it was an alright movie. Maybe if I would have saw it at the time and got scarred for life like so many other people did, I would have more respect for the original Candyman. But me being who I am and seeing it when I saw it and just having the sensibilities I have, I was unimpressed. I hope to be impressed with what we get this weekend. And again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't so you can get alerts about when that review drops. But I'm anticipating good things. I really like Yahya Abdul-Mateen. Coleman Domingo or Santiago, I don't remember his name, but he's from Fear the Walking Dead is how I knew him as Strand in that show, and also in Ma Rainey. I enjoy him. I really hope that he's a bit bigger than what he appears to be in the trailer. It does look like he has a small role, but I would like to see a good bit from him. And I just want to see how this thing gets presented, because I feel like it's going to be creepy, as well as just very, very well done and good, intriguing storytelling. So let me know what you think about Candyman. If you're seeing this later after the movies came out, was I right? Was I wrong? Let me know in the comments. And again, if you want to know how I fell on it, please go ahead and find that review if you're watching this late. And if you're watching it earlier or on time, please subscribe so you can catch that review. But that is it really for the whole week. Not a super long episode. I didn't go through and scour and look for a whole bunch of news. I really just kind of tried to focus on finding the stories that stood out to me at the time, and those two, along with my anticipation for Candyman, is, those are the topics for today. So enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and please come back, check out more videos.